Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. The government is still shut down and the president is MIA. Maybe we'll see him on the golf course this weekend, but wherever Donald Trump is, he has been spending a lot of time on his phone, posting long monologues on social media that sound like they come from a Bond villain, promising the American people lots of pain and privation from his shutdown. He's already slashed the jobs of 300,000 federal workers. He's now threatening he can, quote, do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them, and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out of the government workforce and shutting down popular programs. Now, to be really clear, we've had lots of shutdowns before. I've covered a bunch of them myself. There's no precedent for that. This is not what happens in shutdown. As one White House reporter mentioned today, Trump has presided over government shutdowns before and never reacted with such an extreme agenda.
You know, when the government was shut down for 35 days in Trump's first term, you've never had to lay off thousands of workers to keep essential services up and running. So why are layoffs now necessary in this shutdown?
Because we have an administration and we have a president who are wholeheartedly focused on restoring fiscal sanity.
That doesn't answer the question. If Donald Trump suddenly got more focus on fiscal sanity, what's different now is that after the considerable failures of the first Trump administration, a group of conservatives got together and wrote up a literal playbook for how to dominate in a second Trump administration. And yesterday, Trump openly admitted he was going by that book. Quote, I have a meeting today with Russell Vought, he of the Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. Now, you may remember Project 2025. Remember that? Yeah. The right-wing Heritage Foundation's 920-page blueprint for how a Trump administration could seize control of the apolitical levers of daily government, purge non-MAGAs from civil service, impose a kind of far-right authoritarian dystopia on Americans from above. Well, Trump is now embracing that plan, something we all knew would be the case, but he waged a very effective campaign in just lying about it.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas, I guess some good, some bad, but it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do.
No, nothing to do. That was a lie. That was a lie. But for Trump, it was a very necessary one, a crucial one, because thanks to social media and word of mouth and coverage by journalists, Project 2025 was widely known by American voters and widely rejected even among self-identified independents and Republicans. It was completely authoritarian, completely toxic to Trump's election chances. And public sentiment got worse every time architects of Project 2025, like Heritage Foundation President Kevin Roberts, went on TV to talk about the republic they envisioned.
In spite of all this nonsense from the left, we are going to win. We're in the process of taking this country back. We are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
Okay, buddy. Now, everybody knew about this plan. Everybody hated it. It even came up at the BET Awards last year.
It's not a secret. Look it up. They are attacking our most vulnerable citizens. The Project 2025 plan is not a game. Look it up.
That was a key moment. And because it permeated pop culture and regular people were talking about it, and it was all over TikTok, Democrats made publicizing Project 2025 a corner piece of last year's DNC.
You ever seen a document that could kill a small animal and democracy at the same time? Here it is. You know how when you download an app and there are hundreds of pages there that you don't read, it's just the terms and conditions, and you just click agree, right? Well, these are the terms and conditions of a second Trump presidency. You vote for him, you vote for all of this.
Trump was evidently so frustrated that his own disavowals of Project 2025 weren't working that his proxies started reaching out to non-MAGA audiences to set the record straight. Stephen Miller even went on MSNBC.
And I say this with sincerity. It's not intended to be a trollish comment. I suspect that a lot of people who watch your show, who watch other shows on this network, have been bombarded with a lot of propaganda about Project 2025. So it's actually a great opportunity for me to say, Project 2025 has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with the Trump campaign, a future Trump transition, a future Trump administration.
Miller, with sincerity, denied the Trump campaign had any connections to Project 2025, even though the playbook literally lists the nonprofit Miller leads, America First Legal, as a member of the Project 2025 advisory board. Miller was being just as disingenuous as Trump, who, through the campaign, kept posting things like, "I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who's behind it. I have nothing to do with them." Of course, Trump knew was behind Project 2025. He hired them. Like, well, Russell Vought, the director of the Office of Management and Budget in Trump's first administration, the office responsible for carrying out presidential policy across the executive branch. Vought, a self-identified Christian nationalist, literally wrote the blueprints chapter on how to wield power in the executive office of the president. And even as the Trump campaign was distancing itself from his work, Vought was telling potential donors that Project 2025 would be the law of the land.
If a battle plan is out there that will do what he wants, there are the people like me that have his trust that will be able to get it to him in whatever position we're at. I expect you to hear 10 more times from the rally, the president, distancing himself from the left's boogeyman at Project 2025.
Yeah. And you're not worried about that?
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Now, that man, Russell Vought, is once again Trump's OMB director. He's been illegally impounding funds that Congress allocated, posing as Trump's Grim Reaper, and he's not alone. Do you remember Brendan Carr? That's Trump's FCC chairman, who threatened Disney and got Jimmy Kimmel briefly suspended from the airwaves. Well, Carr literally wrote the chapter in Project 2025 on how to weaponize the FCC on behalf of MAGA. He is now attempting to put that plan into action. They have already used the Project 2025 playbook to shut down USAID, which might kill like tens or hundreds of thousands of people. They've used it to defund PBS, to purge the civil service, especially of non-white, non-men. Now Trump is openly admitting that the playbook he disavowed throughout this campaign is not only the blueprint for his administration, it's the key to using this shutdown for a MAGA makeover of the American Republic. Donald Trump stood before the entire nation for an entire year and just lied his ass off to them, to us, just to get elected. And now he's admitting what a lot of us already knew who paid attention. But it's not just about the hypocrisy. It's about the brutality of an agenda that has never sat well with the American people and could be about to get much worse.